Hello, welcome to JIBRIN Angle on OWELEKETV. My name is JIBRIN, and this is my angle. We have Barrister Austin Manta, as always, a very senior legal practitioner who will be analyzing issues of the moment with me today. And Barrister, thank you so much for joining us again today.
Thank you.
All right, now let's. I don't know if you have had. Let me see if I can play this video for you to listen to. It's supposed to be a video, but unfortunately we can't since we are having some technical glitch here. We cannot fulfill that.
Protocol, all protocol duly observed.
Can you hear it?
Gentlemen of the press,
Loud
we
and
appreciate
clear.
your presence today as we gather to address a matter of utmost importance concerning the integrity of our judiciary and the democratic process in Nigeria. We represent a coalition that includes political party chairmen, the Coalition of United Political Party Corps, the National Interest Defenders, leaders in defense of democracy, the former past and present chairmen of political parties, the Council of Ethnic Youth Leaders of Nigeria, and various other civil society groups. Citizens have complained about the activities of some judges of the Federal High Court, Abuja. These judges have allegedly been involved in partisan activities while on the bench. They have been known to use their discretion to issue ex parte orders in place of court judgment. Their activities have come to our attention, and it is high time they are stopped. These judges have taken a personal interest in Rivers State, its House of Assembly, political parties, local government elections, and everything else associated with the state. They have consistently presented their orders from politically intended viewpoint without recourse to the provisions of the law. In the process, therefore, they have abused the very high power of their office. Some asserted on the reasons behind their rulings, decided cases with only the reasoning that their decision favors their political friends and interests, exceeded and acted without jurisdiction, abused their discretionary powers of interim and interlocutory orders by dishing out ex parte orders recklessly that conclude the entire matter even before the case starts, deliver very questionable judgment, and have brought the name of the judiciary and particularly the Federal High Court, Abuja, to disrepute. The world, and especially indigenes as residents of Rivers State, no longer treat their words with the respect their pronouncement from the court ought to command, but see them only from the political prison and refer to them as political judges or, more particularly, as pro-Wike judges. Before we go further, we would like to commend the Rivers State Judiciary, particularly Justice IPC Igwe, in recent judgment mandating the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission to conduct local government election on October 5th. It is a significant step towards upholding democratic principles in Rivers State. This decision aligns with the Supreme Court ruling that mandates all states to hold election for local government area, chairmen and councillors within 3 months. It is crucial for democracy that this election take place without undue delay and interference. I think one of the key things that we must be able to explain is that there's no way all the time that we've been conducting elections, and because of the kind of elections that have ushered in leaders that have not shown any competence to deliver on our goods of our people, from 2007, 2006, 2007 election, you saw that there was a progression not to have judgment stopping an election that is already in progress, or to have a judgment or an hospital order stopping the primaries of a political party that is already in progress. This is to bring sanity to our electoral process. And whatever that is going contrary to that today is not something that any Nigerian should encourage. We commend Justice IPC Igwe because his judgment keeps the peace in Rivers State today. Rivers State is very important. The plan by the enemies of our country, working in high places to throw Rivers State into anarchy, has been effectively arrested by Justice IPC Igwe's judgment. However, we are deeply concerned about certain judges within the Federal High Court in Abuja. We believe that there has been a troubling trend of partisanship among some judges. particularly those presiding over cases related to River State matters. It is time to salvage the integrity of the Federal High Court and the Nigerian judiciary most especially. They have turned the Federal High Court into the playground for pro-wicked groups, where we hereby call upon the National Judicial Council, NJC, to take immediate action by suspending John Toso, the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court, along with Justice Peter Lifu, Emeka Nweti, and Joseph Motocho. These judges' actions and decisions have raised.
All right. Yeah, I wanted us to hear the names of the judges affected here. And that's why I allowed the video to play this long. Barrister, I don't know, did you hear everything? Did you understand everything on the from the press conference? I'm actually for viewers, if you are sorry, I couldn't play this video, but the sound you heard is from I think the leader of Joint Action for Democracy. It's on the video. You see there are so many people on the video there with him, standing behind, sitting behind him. So it was actually a press conference. He was addressing the press, calling their attention, kind of sounding the alarm of the danger that is actually facing our country, so-called democracy. Barrister, you heard everything. As a lawyer, what is your take on this? He talked about it's about River State. I think it has to do with all this local government issue, the part also going on in River State between Fubara and Wike. But the issue here, our focus is on the judiciary, how judiciary has been used and is being used and being manipulated by Wike to actually perpetrate his interest in River State. Sort of as a result of that, these judges just go on draconian ex parte motions and orders or whatever, and the whole thing is just throwing spanner in the works in the process of governance in River State. What is your take on this? He mentioned some judges, about 3 judges, which includes the Chief Judge of the High Court, Chief Judge of the, is it Chief Justice or Chief Judge of the High Court of the Federal High Court in Abuja? So, what is your opinion on this?
Thank you very much, Jibrin. This issue specifically refers to River State, but it is not just a River State problem. It's a national problem today in Nigeria as far as the judiciary is concerned. And the ability of politicians and other unscrupulous people in Nigeria to manipulate and use the judiciary to settle scores or to achieve some undesirable ends. Today we are seeing it in River State. It could be in any other state, and we have already seen before what happened in other states. Coming back to River State, you know that the Supreme Court, and I condemned the judgment of the Supreme Court here on this platform before, that they will stop the allocation of funds to local governments that are not democratically elected. Why the principle is correct, the judgment itself was not correct because it did not give them the power. They didn't have the power to do that, but they did. Now, this put the state government in a very difficult position because River State, like other states, had caretaker committees running the local government. And the federal government gave the states a deadline of October, that from October we are not going to send any money to local government that are being run by caretaker committees. So you must conduct elections. And River State, not only River State, even as we speak today, there are elections, local government elections being conducted in other states like Benue, who also had caretaker committees. But you will not hear of any friction, of any problem in those states. It has to be reversed for obvious reasons of the wicked factor. So you come to Rivers, you will now see the same manipulation of the judiciary, the same inability of the judiciary to live up to its billing. We have a River State, a federal high court in River State. For administrative purposes, all the states have divisions of federal high court. Why do we have a division of the high court, federal high court in Rivers? When you leave that court and come to Abuja to file a suit on an issue pertaining to River State, then what's the purpose of having the division in River State or in East State? But it is always what we call forum shopping. You are looking for a division or a judge that will grant you favorable rulings. And this ex parte order, the more we talk about it, the more it falls on deaf ears. Nothing has been done on the rate at which judges give ex parte orders on very important issues. The Federal High Court in Abuja gave an order, ex parte, prohibiting the police and all security agencies from participating or giving security to the electoral process for the election of local government people. I don't understand how that kind of order can be met. The state government has scheduled a local government election. How will a court now say, okay, police and all security agencies should not participate, should not give security cover to that election? Is it not a prescription for chaos? Are you not opening a way for chaos so that you will now challenge the election and say that, you will bring some chaos to frustrate and prevent the election from going on? So I do not understand. Or I wouldn't say I do not understand. I know what is happening. The corruption and the manipulation is what we have spoken about on this platform repeatedly. But the more we speak about it, the less we hear any action, we hear or see any action being taken on it. Now, mentioning particular names of judges, for me, is neither here or there, because it's a systemic issue. It's a systemic problem. Once the judiciary is compromised or being manipulated in this way, it is not limited to the names of a few judges. It is a bigger problem, far bigger problem than the news conference has portrayed. We have a total rot in the judicial system. And just like Nigeria, palliative approach to it cannot solve it. A palliative approach to solve the judiciary problem is not it's a total overhaul. Just like when we say in Nigeria, except by revolutionary means, nothing can change positively. The same thing on a micro level at the judiciary. If you just do surgical intervention, it's not going to work. It has to be a total overhaul of that judiciary. Otherwise, we will not get the desired judiciary that the country needs.
All right. The truth is, what do you expect from such anyway, like you noted, this is not it's not a problem that started from Tinubu's from this government. It's been there. It's a systemic issue. But again, in this era of Tinubu has actually aggravated it. It has actually made the situation, the rot in the system, to even become it's no longer a rot. In Tinubu's era, in this a little over 1 year of leadership, of Tinubu's leadership, he has actually deteriorated the system, the rot in the system, into a stench. It's no longer a rod, it's a stench now. It's just, it stinks to high heaven. That is just the reality. What do you expect? I think he mentioned petitioning to NJC, Nigerian Judicial Council. Yeah, Nigeria Judicial Council. Petitioning, who are you petitioning there? Are they the ones that are, is it the same NJC that is under the beck and call of Bola Tinubu? The entire judiciary and the legislative arms of government are just at Tinubu's beck and call. These are supposed to be independent organs of government. But no, this man has commandeered everything. Like you said, the rot has been on, but we've never had it this way. In a system, in a situation where we have the entire arm of government, the three other two arms of government worshiping the other arm, the third arm of government. It doesn't make sense that it's not just worshiping it's not even the third arm of government, but just a personality. They are literally worshiping the president. You take bills to National Assembly for one deliberation or the other. It ends up, just look at supplementary bill. It took less than about 5 minutes for them to pass a supplementary bill. They no longer debate, no longer articulative debates in the National Assembly, at the National Assembly. This executive just sends in bills, and the next thing, they already did everything behind the scene, behind the door. And the moment it gets to the house, to the floor of the House or the Senate, they just rush through the whole thing. We don't even there is no checks and balances anymore. This man is just running the entire country amok. What do you expect from the judiciary when the immediate past the Chief Justice of the Federation, we all know that he cashed out on the election judgment. He cashed out in billions. There's no doubt about that. So don't come to me and begin to ask me if do I have an evidence. But well, evidence or not, even lawyers will admit to the fact that we have what we call circumstantial evidence. So even in court, circumstantial evidence can be admitted as well. Am I right, Barrister? There are circumstantial evidences that can be admitted even in the court of law. Am I right?
Yeah, circumstantial evidence is the best evidence.
Oh, beautiful. Okay, that even makes my point, my assumption or whatever, the best. That's just it. So thank you for that. Now that is the point. For God's sake, we have the immediate the successor of this corrupt Chief Justice that actually cashed out during the 2023 election judgment. Now we have similar person again, who in his own case, unlike the immediate past, I think we had similar cases of what we saw the sign through him when during this what is his name? Former immediate past Senate President judgment prior to the 2023 election over his Senate seat in Yobe State. We saw those signs, so there were those signs. So he actually perfected his corruption after the 2023 election, during the presidential judgment, Supreme Court judgment. Now we have this lady, Akerele or whatever is her name. Honestly, corrupt people, I don't so much want to have their name in my head. That's just the truth. People that do not have honor, I don't see them honorable enough for me to have their names in my head. Whether Akerele or Akere, whatever is her name. We all know her antecedents. Oh, Kereku or whatever. Now we all. Sorry, what's her name? Oh, Kekere. Okay, I think it's Kekere Oku, whatever. Very funny name anyway. We all know her antecedent, her record, right? The ridiculous judgment, how the ridiculous judgment she gave regarding Imo State governorship election. And here we are. She's the one now at the head of our third arm of government. This is unbelievable. So I just pity those people who are petitioning NJC, the Joint Action for Democracy, who said they have petitioned the NJC to report those against those corrupt judges. Corrupt judges are all over the place. It's not just the wicked judges; they are just all over the place. And it is not about. He mentioned High Court. It is not. The corrupt judges are up to the Supreme Court. The entire judicial system, just like Barrister noted, is just in a corruption spree. That is just the reality. But again, what do we expect from a country that has a president as a drug lord, a president as a criminal, a president that actually behaves as an emperor, acts as an emperor? That is just, what do you expect? The president that have commandeered and hijacked the entire apparatus of governance, the Senate, the House of Rep, the Judiciary, everything, they are all in his hands. They are all in his hands. So he just dictates the tune. In fact, he's the one not only dictating the tune, he's the piper who dictates the tune and also dictates the dance that Nigerians do. That is the unfortunate situation we have found ourselves. Tinubu is not only the dictator of the tunes, he's not only the piper who dictates the tune, but he's also dictating the dance steps of Nigerians. Because Nigerians are dancing to what the tune, the music that Tinubu is playing. Unfortunately. So
you now see a situation where one court gave an order in Abuja, another court replied with an order in Rivers State.
That's the point.
What kind of shameful macabre dance have we been doing? And this is not the first time, this is not the second. It has been happening repeatedly. On the same issue of local government elections, a court, Federal High Court in Abuja gave an order, another one in Rivers State countered, the same Federal High Court, and nobody is feeling ashamed,
honestly,
of what is happening. This is not the first time, it has been happening repeatedly. Somebody said petition to NJC. Is it a single person's problem? Is it a systemic problem of the judiciary? Petitioning to the NJC cannot solve the problem.
It cannot. It cannot. Honestly, that is the unfortunate part.
I have a situation where a Federal High Court judge in Abuja gave an expert order that resulted in somebody being, with his wife and children, being ejected from his house without hearing him. And there was no date for him to be heard. They came from Abuja with an expert order and ejected the family from their house. So this thing is what we that are there, we know. We know the truth. Even people who are not in the judiciary know, because they have been affected. Orders are given against them. Some are obtaining the orders in their favor. It's a marketplace now. The judiciary is a marketplace today. It's shameful.
It is.
And
it is.
We talk about it again and again and again, and we do not see any moment towards tackling the problem.
You see, that is where my problem. That is my problem with this so-called democracy. You and I have agreed that what will Nigeria? You said what Nigeria is practicing is not democracy. Me, I do not even agree in a democracy, whether we are practicing democracy or not. We are not. Our environment is not conducive for democracy, or democracy is not conducive for us. And that is just it. The reality is, this whole democracy is a sham, because my point is this: the criticism against the military rule is exactly what we are experiencing under democratic rule. Because when you ask why the proponents of democracy, you ask them why do you prefer democracy? These are the things they will tell you. Democracy, they will tell you the military, they manipulate the system. They are dictatorial. The judiciary, they tell judiciary what to do. They instruct judiciary what to do. Judges, they intimidate judges. And the journalists, when it comes to the press, the media, they muzzle the media. They strangle. They strangle the media. They don't do, there's no free press, no free speech or whatever. Barrister, can you tell me all I have mentioned now that is actually the criticism against that stands against the ministry, the military, as in comparison with democracy. Can you please confirm to me if all these things are not prevalent, are not even worse under this democratic setting?
First of all, let me say that me and you we don't have disagreement as such on the suitability of democracy for Nigeria. I have said repeatedly that the conditions that should be prevalent or should be present for democracy to succeed are not available in Nigeria. So it can never succeed, even if the purest form of democracy is implemented in Nigeria, it will still not succeed. It will still not lead us to any development. Having said that, all the issues we complain, they are easily occurring. Tinubu gets whatever he wants. The issue of check and balances is virtually non-existent because whatever he takes from leadership of the National Assembly, it is the people he chose that emerge. The bills he sent, no bill has been rejected.
You can imagine no bill has been rejected. Wow.
The 1 day or a few hours of passing of the national anthem, restoration of the old national anthem bill without debate, the Supplementary Appropriation Act passed without debate. Several issues. Nobody has drawn my attention to anything that the man has taken to the National Assembly that has been rejected. So there is a total absence of check and balances. And the reason why there is no check and balances is it is more or less a gang. Both the executive and the legislature, and by extension, a certain part of the judiciary is like a gang. So they are acting for their selfish interest. So there's no way that you can talk of check and balances. If the president brings something to the National Assembly, it's a give and take. Once they have what they want, everything goes. So if there's a budget that the president wants, is it one parastatal or this thing that the president brought a bill of about, is it 1 point something billion that the National Assembly raised to 50 billion. So you see, it is the same thing, almost like sharing of the national cake. As long as we accept
what do you mean by almost? It is not almost. That is exactly, literally, they are sharing the national cake.
As soon as we get what we want, we negotiate. What they negotiate with the presidency or the destinies, what they too will get. Once that is done, everything moves. That is not the kind of check and balances that the democracy entails. The check and balances are in respect of national interest and national development. We are not having those things here. If you see any disagreement between the National Assembly and the president, it is a behind-the-scenes disagreement on what should come to us, what will come to us personally.
Yeah, that is it.
If there is no such disagreement, you will not hear it outside. Everything will go smoothly. So it is almost like a gang has taken control of the affairs of Nigeria.
Yeah,
they have dispersed themselves into executive, into the judiciary, and into the legislature. But it's the same gang. They are acting with the same purpose, not the national development, but the personal purpose. That is why it is so annoying and dangerous for our country. And that is why Nigerians do not have faith and confidence in the people parading as our leaders.
Yeah, it's so sad. It's so sad, honestly, and that brings me to this issue of what I have been advocating for several years, and not just advocating because that is just that could be the one of the two options that we have on the table right now. Because Nigeria, as I always say, Nigeria, we can't continue this way. Otherwise, people will just finish. We yeah, people will just keep dying, and that's just it. It's either the military takes over or we have a revolution. And unfortunately, the revolution, the kind of revolution that can actually better the lot of Nigeria, unfortunately, it will definitely be something. This rot, the only way this rot can be corrected is not through peaceful revolution. Because I do not foresee Nigeria passing through. If we are going to pass through revolution, I do not foresee peaceful revolution, because peaceful revolution means that you will be telling me, that means you have to accept, you have to agree with me, that you have to agree with those people, the proponent of peaceful revolution, that the powers that be will willingly relinquish power, will willingly transfer power to the people. They will not. That is why I do not believe that why we have the revolution on the table. I do not believe that the revolution will be peaceful, because the powers that be, those people that are in the seat or on the seat of power right now, they will not relinquish. We have to take it by force, and taking it by force will obviously amount to violence. And that is just it. So that's why I prefer the military, because violent revolution should be the last resort. The military, I expect the military to do the needful. I expect the military to be patriotic, not the top echelon of the military. The lower, the middle down of the military, we still have some few people, some few patriotic military officers that can do this. All we need is for them to just they need to intervene. If they do not intervene, excuse me, honestly, we'll be left with the gory option. And that gory option is the option of violent revolution. Because at violent revolution, people will die. There will be the entire streets of Nigeria will be painted in blood, a sort of with blood rather. So we do not want to go that route. That's why I am actually appealing to the military to take over. We need you to take over, because what we have, just like Barrister said, we have just a gang, not a mafia kind of gang in Nigeria, in charge of Nigeria, with Tinubu as the head. We have the Senate as Senate president. My God, can you imagine where we have? What do you expect from? Does Nigeria? How will Nigeria expect anything good to come out of this kind of government, where we have the Tinubu, the president, as a criminal? We also have the Senate president as a criminal. We also have we have the head of the judiciary as okay. She's not a criminal, but her record is just she may not have committed any crime. I don't know, because I can't allude to that. But in a layman's judgment, I can consider her to be a criminal. These are the people ruling us. So what do you expect? We shouldn't expect anything good. All we need is for the military to intervene. Otherwise, we'll be left with the other option, the last option, the last resort, which no one wants to get. No one wants to experience. That's just the reality. It's so sad. It's so sad that we have people like Wike, just parading himself as an emperor of a state, as the emperor of a state that is no longer governing. That is it's very, very sad.